And we're live.
Hey everybody, we are here with Queen's Landing. I am Melissa. I am from the Young Folks and a writer at the Young Folks, and I'm here with my co-host Gabby, who is the editor of the Young Folks. And we have just finished watching The Queen's Justice, which is episode 3 of season 7 of Game of Thrones. And it's really fresh and raw. We're recording this literally right after we watched it. And later on, we're going to be joined by film editor of the Young Folks, Allison. So we'd like to just jump into it and start. Sorry, I can't talk. And just start discussing the episode. We open up episode 3 with fire and ice finally meeting. Was it everything you dreamed of?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I think the anticipation was very high for that scene, and I think it kind of ended up being exactly what we expected. Just because Jon saying like, I'm not here the allegiances in King's Landing. I'm here to beat these zombies, these White Walkers. And Daenerys is just like, what? Like, why can't... and Tyrion's even like, just God, just say she's queen and she'll give you what you need. But really, just I think what I enjoyed the most was just kind of how just knowing that he is a Targaryen, and she's saying she's the last of them, and I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah. I really like the scene too. I mean, I feel like we all kind of knew that he wasn't going to bend the knee, right? I mean, he's not there for that. He's there to like ask her for her help. And I think it was interesting that, he's kind of saying what the audience is thinking, like, you guys are fighting over the throne, but none of this matters if we're all going to end up dead anyway, because we have bigger problems to think about up north. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, me too. I think, obviously, I think that's what ultimately makes us like a little bit more on Jon's side than Daenerys' side between, their back and forth, because we know just the gravity of these White Walkers and how, the human race is at stake. But I think it also reminded us just crazy it sounds. I mean, to, normal person's ears. And I think, we spent so much time in the north that it didn't seem so unbelievable, but now we kind of fully understand just how difficult this task is for Jon, to convince people to back him up and to help him and not make him sound like he's a crazy person. But I also think it's a little ironic given that, there's Daenerys and her dragons, which are just as magical and unbelievable as these freaking snow zombies. So, I mean, it's just, yeah, I'm really kind of, I'm really hoping to see Daenerys' face when she sees these White Walkers for the first time, because I just want her to be like, oh shit, he was right. I don't know, there's a part of me that's like really excited to kind of see that realization.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, in a way, like, we as the audience know like what is coming, but I feel like from her point of view, of course it's hard to believe, and even Tyrion, her hand, acts skeptical. So I think that kind of adds this pressure of having to believe. But at least she is letting him take some dragon glass. Well, I mean, we'll see, because I feel like, she's lost all her allies now, so I think she may not like beg him for some help. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know what Jon should do. Because if he fights with Daenerys against Cersei, he's going to lose a lot of his men, and he needs all the help he can get to fight the Walking Dead people, the ice zombies. So it's tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
I know. I think this episode really addressed that, just how difficult this war is going to be, because I think we all went into it thinking that it was going to be easy for Daenerys, because it seemed like everything was lined up perfectly for her to win, and now everything. After this episode, there's even more setbacks. Tyrells are done. Cersei outsmarted them at Casterly Rock. The bankers looking like they're going to be backing Cersei. And, there's just, now it's just like Daenerys is like really in the shithole. And it seems like this is her immediate concern, not something that, this random guy from the north who won't even pledge allegiance to her is you know, rambling about. So I think now Jon's task is even harder. And I think, I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, what is Jon supposed to do? Like, does he join this fight just so he can get his way? But that knowing that this could ultimately make things even worse.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of stuck. And I mean, you can't blame Daenerys for being where she is because she's went through so much to get to this point, and now, you know, she's here. And I mean, I have to also commend Emilia Clarke during that scene when she's kind of telling Jon Snow off, because I felt like she really showed such conviction and power in her speech that I hadn't quite seen before from her. I mean, she's always had these big epic moments, but there it was like she really owned it. She really believed it, and she was just like, I'm not gonna take your shit. And it just, I don't know. I was like, wow, okay. Like, I would like bow down right there for you.
It was a great speech because she kind of, you know, she kind of tells them everything that we've seen, like that we've been through with her. Like she, you know, says everything that she's been through, all the assassins and the men who want her killed. You know, they both kind of don't know what each other has been through, and he still hasn't. They still haven't told her that he died and came back to life. What is the choice behind that?
Yeah, because Davos was about to say it, and then Jon kind of stopped him.
Jon stopped him. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Why?
Like, yeah, I don't understand why he doesn't want to say that. And I don't really understand what would be the big deal about her knowing, or if how it would change perceptions, or I don't know.
Maybe I'm thinking maybe she feels okay. He's thinking she already doesn't believe me about the White Walkers. Why in the world would she believe that I died and came back to life? I feel like maybe he thinks if he said that, she would think he was completely mad. So that's the only thing that yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that would probably be true. I think he didn't want them to focus so much on him being resurrected, but by him, this is like my task here. But I also think it works like from a story, like plotting perspective, because again, if he told her outright, it's too unbelievable. But she knows he's holding back, and she mentioned it to Tyrion that she noticed it too. So she knows that there's a truth there. So if she were to find out, she would believe it then, as opposed to him just saying it outright. So I thought that was really interesting, and I'm glad she caught that, because I was hoping. I mean, she's very I think it just shows how she catches things in a way that maybe some other rulers hadn't.
Smart girl.
Yeah, exactly. And what I also like, and I mean, a little getting ahead of ourselves in the episode, but it kind of relates back to Daenerys, is that Tyrion. It seems like when we first heard Tyrion's plan and strategy, we thought track, and so far he's been wrong.
I know.
He's been outsmarted.
I know. Ugh.
So it's kind of like interesting, because we were thought, oh man, he's solid, but he's not. He's been outsmarted at every end. And so now, what does that mean for Tyrion? Because his strategy has been wrong for her so far. It's been disastrous, actually.
Why in the preview for next week, she's basically like, enough of this shit. Let's just use the dragons.
Yeah, I think she's tired of being clever, because being clever is not working.
It's not working.
And you know why? I mean, because Cersei is Tyrion's biggest opponent. I mean, that's his match, and wit and cleverness. I mean, they hate each other, but they know each other. And I think, you know, Cersei is being smart. I mean, I can't stand her, but she's really cunning. So
that's why I'm like a little down, I think, about the episode. I'm like, oh, Daenerys is losing. And now it's like such a contrast. Like at the end of last season, I feel like a lot of us felt confident that, well, Daenerys has this in the bag. But no, like she's lost all her allies. Dragons can be killed. And I feel like we're going to see a dragon go down by the end of the season. It's going to happen. Did you see Daenerys talk when she was talking about how that they should take Euron's fleet down? And she was talking about taking her dragons there. And then all her advisors were saying, no, don't do that. And she's like, I'm not going to be alone. I'm going to have the dragons with me. What can happen to them? She seems so confident that nothing can happen to the dragons. That's going to be a rude awakening for her when one of her dragons die.
Exactly, because, yeah, I think it's totally been hinted that one of them is going to go down, and it's going to be hard for her. And not looking forward to that, but I think it's a rude awakening she needs, that she needs to be more than dragons, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to me because I feel like she should know that dragons can be killed. I think she's forgotten. She just feels so empowered by them that maybe power trip's getting to her head, but like dragons can be killed. She's in very
yeah,
spot right now. Now she's, I mean, that's like 2 to, well, really 3 to 3 now for Cersei because she's killed all of Daenerys' allies, which is crazy.
I know. I'm just like, I mean, we thought she was golden, and now we're like, what? She has nothing. I mean, she doesn't even have the North because
No, because Jon is just like, yo, I'm not in this fight. I'm worried about the zombies. It's just crazy.
I know, it's crazy. And I'm just really curious to see what her next move is. I know it's going to be a bit of more of a brunt force kind of move with the dragons probably. So I'm just curious to see how that outcome happens, because I feel like I am kind of satisfied that Cersei's not going down easy, because I think it really brings a lot of excitement to this season, and it removes some of the predictability. But I mean, I think ultimately she's going to have to take her Cersei down, or someone is going to have to, hopefully. I don't know who it's going to be at this point, honestly.
I don't know. At this point, I'll take anyone killing Cersei. Just, I'm sick of her. She's smart and she's cunning, but I'm Team Daenerys here. We had mentioned the North earlier, and we're gonna pop in that scene where Sansa is basically holding down the fort. She's being very queenly. She's preparing the Northerners for this battle, making sure that they have food, making sure they have leather in their armor, and she seemed very comfortable in that position.
Yeah, she was like, I mean, I think ultimately she's going to be the head of Winterfell. Um, Not to say that she's going to overpower Jon Snow. I just think, one, he's never been much. He's been a good leader, but he doesn't like it, I don't think. You could tell. It makes him very weary. It's not for him. He's just there to help save people's lives. And that's all he really wants to do. So I think she's a natural born leader. So I'm very excited to kind of excited to see her just lead the way and kind of tell off Littlefinger while he was just trying to be all smart and swarmy, and I'm just like, go away, Littlefinger.
What he was talking about, he's just like, fight your enemies, fight your friends, fight every battle everywhere. Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he wanted her. I think does he? I don't think he takes the White Walker thing seriously. I think he wants to join the Game of Thrones. I think that's what his goal is. And I think he wants to get Sansa to do that as well. But it's not a smart idea, especially for them, because they're the most vulnerable when it comes to the White Walkers.
Yeah, they're coming at them first.
Exactly. So I think that's his goal, plus just to kind of get her more on his side than Jon's side. But yeah, I'm glad she seems so independent and so bossy and great. I was like, it's like she's like a natural born leader, so I'm very excited to see that. And
Tyrion told Jon that she's smarter than she seems. Maybe he will give us his.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad he acknowledged that she's made it that far after being in like the subject of so much shit. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she's growing, or has grown into a remarkable woman, and I hope Littlefinger doesn't ruin that. I don't think he will. I think she's holding her own very well against him. The only moment that gave me a little doubt was that she seemed like a little too happy to say that Bran was the new Lord of Winterfell.
Yeah. Let's talk about Bran for a second. He just seems like he's catatonic.
A different person. Yeah, he just seemed like
reaction to his sister. I'm the three-eyed raven. You wouldn't understand. I can't explain.
I know, he was like a totally different person. Like he wasn't. I mean, I guess he's the three-eyed raven now, but I thought he would still be himself and not just like this. But I guess not. I don't know. It's a little strange. But
If he's gonna be boring, his storyline is not gonna help me because
I think he's
I found the
just
majority of his storyline boring, and I'm waiting for him to be cool and waiting for him to like. I mean, besides last season, because we got to see the whole like John's parental reveal, but I
yeah.
hope that gets more exciting.
I think well, do you think he's going to be the one to tell John about his through parentage, or
Yes,
is
I
he
think so
because he's like I
Brand's
have to talk to John.
yes, he said I need to speak to John. So I'm thinking he will be the one that tells John his true parentage.
Yeah, I mean I hope so. That would be a good purpose for Bran. Um but
It's
as
gonna
far
be
as how he'll play.
it's wild. I mean, I'm thinking even if Bran does say something, how is John gonna wrap his mind around that? Like how or why will he believe that? Like that's kind of a stretch.
Well, I mean, he made Sansa believe because he knew the details of, what
But
happened to her with
do we
Ramsay.
know? Do we know if she believes? I don't know.
She looked freaked out.
Just
I
freaked
mean,
out, but I don't think that means like she fully believes that like he could see past, present, and future.
well, I think she believes that he could see something. What to what extent, I don't know, but I felt like she believed it. I mean, I don't think she understands it completely.
Yeah.
Now, John knows who his parents are, he's going to be touting it around. I think it's just something he's going to have to internally process. I mean, that's kind of how he's always been.
Mhm.
And I think, again, he's just going to kind of process it while trying to figure out what's going on with the White Walkers, because that seems like the only thing John really does. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I felt like I should have been happier about this little like Stark reunion between Bran and Sansa.
Yeah,
I,
me
was- I
too.
was I was kind of hoping that it was Arya coming back when
No,
they're.
I thought it was Arya, and it wasn't, and I was so bummed out because Bran is so boring.
I know at first it was not Arya, and I'm like, oh my god, is it her? And then I'm like, oh no, it's Bran. But I don't know. This was an Arya less episode, so
But next week we should see her in the next week's previews. Sorry, spoiler, but we
yeah,
see her basically at the gates of Winterfell, and I'm thinking like, is she gonna make a split-second decision and turn back? What if she does that?
that would be awful, and I would be so pissed off. She cannot do that. Okay, like come on. There's only 10 episodes left now of the series,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
We don't got time for all this indecision. Like,
I
let's
know, but
get going.
so much drama, like that would create so much drama, and I feel like she needs to have some kind of consequence because what if she chooses revenge over family and she, is going down this dark path? I don't know. This is all like
But then
guesstimate.
wouldn't like Arya going down the dark path like help John's problem with everyone being obsessed with the
It'd
Game of
be
Thrones?
it'd be a dark path for her because I feel like that's going to be her downfall. She might get herself killed not choosing to go home.
True. I don't
Yeah,
know. I mean, I think if she doesn't go home, I think she's gonna go off and kill Cersei, and I think she might be successful. I hope. I
let's hope.
mean, yeah, we'll see. But
Yes. So let's talk about Cersei and Jaime a little bit. They finally have like a love scene together, right? And then they wake
yeah,
up in the morning, and she has no fucks to give about them being seen together. She's maybe a little bit feeling overpowered too.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely. I mean, just to flaunt it like that and not care what people think. I mean, I think she's feeling a little too confident there. Um, about how people feel about her. I think again, like I mean, Tyrion made a good point. Like people are scared of her, so that's why they're not going to react to her sleeping with her brother. But at the same rate, I think it's not a good idea to flaunt it, and I don't know. I mean, it's not a good idea at all. It's gross, but
nope, nope, nope. And then she
no.
also gets a visit from the Bank of Bravos, where they basically let her know that she's in serious debt, and I feel like they're kind of letting her know that they're deciding to pick her over Daenerys, sort of, because they need the money back, and she's a bad investment because she may lose. So how are they gonna get their money back?
Yeah, I mean, well, we know now she stormed the Tyrells in order to get their money because they're so rich, and their gold at least. So that's how she got her money. It was smart. It was a smart idea. I mean, take down an enemy, two birds in one stone. You know.
Take the money, food, because the Tyrells provided food, so now she has food to feed her army.
Exactly. So that was a very like clever. I mean, it was too good. It's like, damn it.
Oh, I need Tyrion to think ahead and be a little smarter. He's supposed to be the G. What
I know.
is happening?
Exactly. I think he thought too much of like that she cared too much about their family's pride. And I think she's past that now. She's more about her legacy as a Lannister, not her father's. You know, I think she can give two shits of how her father did things because now she's in charge. And her father put her in so many awful positions that she didn't want to be in to begin with. So for her to give up Casterly Rock, in hindsight, it's not that surprising.
Yeah, because I mean, like any of them are there anyway right now.
Exactly. And like she said, they're in debt. They owe a lot of money. It's like worthless right now to them. So they'd rather go after the money, have the banks backing, and be able to fund their war, which is really bad for Daenerys.
Oh man. Yeah. So for the first time in a while, I'm pretty worried for our girl with the unburnt. She's losing.
Yeah, I think her next thing is probably gonna be some real firepower with the dragons. I mean,
but it's like I'm worried about that even because now Queen Cersei has a weapon that can kill one of them. So you know we're gonna see Daenerys lose. Oh my goodness! What if? So we see a dragon go down right by the end of the season or whatever, and then we see Daenerys going up north, helping Jon with her remaining dragons, and then going after Cersei next season. Perhaps. I don't know. We're getting ahead into our green side segment. Sorry, this always happens.
Yeah, I know. We always do that because we're always like, oh, we just got a theory idea. I think that might be an idea. I think what I was thinking in that kind of vein was that, yeah, she's going to go to North, help Jon, but they're going to like target the White Walkers after Cersei and the Lannisters.
Yeah, I mean, because the thing is, like, if Daenerys doesn't believe in the White Walkers, you know, sure as shit, Cersei's not gonna believe in the White Walkers. Like, I wonder if Jon had it in his mind that he was gonna march down to King's Landing and try to convince Cersei that these things are real. Like, that's not gonna happen.
No, he can't. He knows he can't even go to King's Landing. Like, there's no way.
He'll be murdered.
Yeah, he'll be murdered on the spot. Like, it's just stupid. He can't even count on that. And it's a mess, kind of. It is a mess for Jon. I mean, shit, it sucks to be him. But does not suck to be, what's his name? Shit, I just forgot. The guy who got cured from the dragon scale.
Oh my goodness, that's right, Jorah. That happened too this episode.
Yeah.
Cured, yay!
Yeah. I was like, wow, it was that easy? All you had to do was scale it off his skin. Y'all couldn't think of a cure that fast. I mean, I guess it makes you in danger because you could be exposed to it. But I mean, come on, guys.
You just wear gloves like Sam did.
Yeah, like wear like a whole body mask thing and just go shipping away. Like,
being super simple. Every time we get the Citadel scenes, I swear, like I'm at Hogwarts. And like he's Hermione, like
he reminds me more of like Neville Longbottom, but yeah, I get you.
Like a combination of all the students, especially since Professor Slughorn's there.
Yeah.
So he's still not on his way out of the Citadel. He's still there. I'm hoping like maybe he'll stumble upon something in one of those gross scrolls that he has to copy. Maybe he'll discover something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far he's discovered that, there's a bunch of dragon glass at Dragonstone, which Jon is going to get. He cured Jorah, which created an allegiance between the Mormonts and him and Daenerys by default, I assume. So I think Sam is making his way in a really understated fashion.
Yeah, I just want like something bigger, I suppose. Only because dragonglass, we knew that's the thing that kills the White Walkers, and
Hmm.
then grayscale, we know that somehow it can be stopped because of Shireen.
Hmm.
RP. So I'm just waiting for like something else that maybe the audience doesn't know yet.
Yeah, like a big revelation that will
Yeah,
change the
exactly.
entire show.
Right.
Yeah, I think ultimately, if you're gonna keep Sam there, you're gonna keep making us revisit him there. I think, yeah, we kind of are owed something like that. I mean, otherwise we're just like, what? We're just gonna keep slipping us little facts that we kind of predicted would be the case
Yeah.
so far. But yeah,
I want to talk about Cersei really quick because when she went into that cell to meet Ilaria and her daughter, I really right away noticed her lipstick, but I didn't realize that it was poison until like the very end.
oh, I
But
didn't notice her lipstick. I mean,
I noticed because the thing is that she like none of the girls ever wear lipstick, so I was like, oh, that's interesting. Why they choose this scene to put lipstick on her face? But then she killed Ilaria's daughter exactly how Ilaria killed her daughter. She's such a bitch.
I know. I figured that was gonna happen, like that
Yeah.
she was gonna mimic that to her, and yeah, that sucks. I kind of expected it though. I mean, Cersei, Euron, came in his big rock star fashion, delivered his gift, and yeah, I kind of knew from that point that that was going to happen.
Oh man. And I can't help but notice her long black gown with the spikes. I love the costume though. Like I'm thinking of like cosplayers for conventions must be loving this.
Oh, I know. Like even her servants have like that same
Yes.
black regal look. I was just
Uh,
like, damn, like the servant her castle, nice uniforms, but Psycho Queen. So
gotta choose. And
yeah,
then the very end, really, we kind of get into this battle where Grey Worm is with the Unsullied attacking Casterly Rock, but it's not all that it seems to be because little did we know Cersei and Jaime let them have Casterly Rock. Then we are fooled because they're actually going to Highgarden, which is the first time we ever see that place in the show. And I'm so sad that it's really the last time because we didn't get any time
yeah.
spent there. And then we finally see Lady Olenna, the Queen of Thorns, the Queen of Shade. We see her in her last moments.
Those were some epic last moments, though. I mean, she really like laid it on Jaime, and then at the end when she said, "You know what? I was going to kill Joffrey," and it was amazing. I think it was always something we always kind of knew was her, but we didn't really ever have a confirmation. And I was actually
Oh,
thinking about that,
we
like
did have a confirmation. I forgot what season. I think it was season 5, but there was a scene between her and Littlefinger in a room, and she tells him, "You and I murdered a king," and they're talking about Joffrey.
yeah.
Somebody,
See, that she never really said it like explicably.
she said she murdered someone.
Yeah, but it wasn't like sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Yeah, it wasn't like it was, but
Okay.
it yeah, but it wasn't like it didn't she didn't say Joffrey, In this case she did. I missed that detail, but I was always kind of like I knew it was her, but I never heard her like really admit to it until tonight.
I just love seeing her say it to one of his parents. And I just wish that Cersei was there to see it.
Oh yeah, that would have been great. I mean, just the anger on her face would have been like, yes. But I also felt like it really showed a side to Jaime that we hadn't. I mean, that we've kind of forget about. Just I don't know. I call him like a total putz, just because he is. So I don't know. I think she showed just how kind of a little bit how pathetic Jaime is, and um, yeah, about who he is at this point in the game.
I mean, I'll give him credit for talking Cersei down and how to kill her. Just give her some poison.
Yeah.
Other horrible ways.
But he's just like so blinded by his love for her. It's just like at this point.
Oh, hey, we're joined by Allie. Hi.
Yay!
Hi. Sorry. There was so much stuff that happened.
Yeah.
I'm so late, but like, oh my god.
Yeah, so tell us what you think about everything. I guess we could start again with Fire and Ice.
Don't worry about starting over. All I'll say is that like the Fire and Ice moment like literally gave me like full body chills because I'm a dweeb. And yeah, no, I was fucking so excited the whole time because it was like all these pairings coming together. Mm-hmm. And when I started, I'd gotten home late and like I pressed play and Danny and John were together and I was just like, oh no, because like I got spoiled. But then the fact that like it started the episode that way, I was just so thrilled that we were going to spend so much time like with them together. So yeah, I loved a lot of it. I'm mad about the Lannisters winning, but
me too.
Yeah. So
she's in a bad spot. She's lost all her allies, man.
I know, but it just means that John is going to be more important as an ally, and that really just like the tension between the two of them. Like I know kind of that they're aunt and nephew if you're going by like the book theories, but still, whatever. It's Westeros, and they're really like there's so much chemistry between them. So yeah, I really loved it. I was so excited. I was such a dweeb during all of it, like slapping the arms of the chair and like screeching a little bit. Like I was like, oh my god, Bran! So, yeah, I hope you guys liked it too, because I'm thrilled.
I did like it. I'm just a little, I just feel a little bit defeated about the Lannisters winning. Just a little miffed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to imagine it's just building up to like a really big win for the characters we care about, but
I mean, I feel like
I was like pretty pissed.
I feel like Daenerys is still gonna take some L's, man, because we all know a dragon, at least one of them is gonna die. So I feel like she has more to lose.
Yeah.
Into this.
I mean, luckily she has 3. But like,
yeah. But then what if the shocker is they kill at least 2 of them? That's
oh my god.
So it's 1 dragon. That's more than the others. They have no dragons. And she has Jon Snow on her side. And I'm so excited.
We have to see, because he's not all gung-ho about fighting this Game of Thrones because he's worried about other things like the ice zombies, the White Walkers.
Like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but we can fast forward to wherever you guys were in the conversation, like calling Jaime Lannister a putz, I believe, was what I walked in on. I have harsher words for him. But like
we're discussing his last scene basically with Lady Olenna, where he, basically kills her and he's talking about his plan with Casterly Rock and all that stuff. So what'd you think about that?
I agree. Jaime is a putz. I feel really weird using that word. I never use it.
I use like all these
for like so many reasons. But I mean, I thought I actually called it like right before. I felt really, because I never call twists or whatever. I'm really bad at that. And I was like, oh, I bet she tells him that she's the one who killed Joffrey. So like that was kind of satisfying, but it also was a bummer that she died. But I'm glad she kind of died on her terms. But yeah, I think Jaime needs to kind of untether himself from Cersei, go find like Brienne, and have a better haircut that makes him not look totally out of place in Westeros. But that's my only hopes for Jaime. I don't really care what happens to him at this point. I think he's such a wuss. But like,
I know. He's just like, I mean, like, I think he's just pathetic. It's just how much he loves her. I mean, I don't get it.
Lady Olenna said as much. She told him that, she's going to end you. Like, she's going to be your end. But he doesn't care because he said, yeah, she probably will be. Like, he doesn't care.
I know. And it's just like, okay, first, it's your twin. So that's already like strike one. But the fact that she like, I don't know. I just like I can't stand the two of them together. Like beyond the whole fact that they're related. Like I
Yeah.
just think it brings out the worst aspects of their characters. So yeah, I mean like so I just thought it was funny that like Cersei had her power moment tonight and then she like goes to immediately like have like celebratory sex with her twin. Like I just
And
thought
doesn't
all of it
care
was so fucking weird.
It
if
is.
she doesn't.
Hmm?
No, it
Weird's
is
the
weird.
nicest way to put it.
It's freaking disgusting.
Yeah. But like it's also the most stable romance on the show since season 1.
Oh my god.
Like if you like think about it, it's the only one that's been consistent.
Ugh. It's gross.
But yeah. Yeah, no, it's vile. But like
Yeah, I mean, I also think like when they're together, like it's even less entertaining. I don't know. I'm just always like, oh,
no, I agree. It's like their energy level is so kind of plateau for the most part, I feel
yeah,
like. Or they both get very like monotone with each other, just about how much they love each other and how they're gonna rule the Seven Kingdoms. And it's just kind of like we've seen this for 7 seasons now, and it hasn't happened. And there's been no character growth for Jaime since season 2. So it just becomes redundant really quick, in my mind.
yeah, it does.
But yeah.
Well, we're already halfway through the season.
I know. I mean,
Shit.
we're almost like halfway through the next episode. We're technically halfway.
Then we'll have our meltdowns.
You know.
That will be like more than halfway through the season next week. We'll be like, no.
God damn it.
But like I was saying earlier, I was like, we only have 10 episodes left. So
The entire series.
yeah,
It's crazy.
all together. So it's kind of crazy.
Lots
Yeah.
happened in 2 episodes.
That's really distressing, actually.
Because like shit has to get done now. Like, oh god.
That's why they're moving it. That's why, like,
Yeah, I
Dany
know.
and John spent a whole episode together.
I know, which was amazing. But I'm also like kind of worried about all these setbacks that Daenerys just had.
I know.
So,
Grey Worm's gonna die.
oh no.
It's my prediction. I mean, I don't know.
Didn't. I thought Grey Worm was gonna die this episode, but it didn't happen yet. Thank goodness. I love me some Grey Worm. I'm a fangirl. Just saying. So if you guys want, we can delve into some segments. Segment time!
Yay!
On our show Queen's Landing, we go through these segments like our week of the week and Swing the Sword and more stuff. Our week of the week is basically the character that we're disappointed with or disagreed with, or somebody that we think generally sucked. So, and it's named after the Reek himself, Theon Greyjoy, which we didn't see this episode. Oh,
yeah, we did.
Episode. Oh my god, I forgot.
For like a minute or two.
This happens every week. I feel like so much, they show it so much that I forget something happened. So sorry. If anybody has to say about that scene, go ahead.
No, there wasn't much to say. I think the guy who picked him off the boat pretty much said it for us.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Good. Okay, so my week of the week, I gotta pick Tyrion Lannister, and I'll tell you why. All his plans have failed.
What?
So
I mean, it's true.
So smart, and I love him, but all his plans have failed. She has no allies anymore, and I'm feeling so scared for Daenerys that she may actually lose this war. That is how dire I feel about it, okay? I know many may disagree with me, but his plans have failed, so he's my week of the week. All right, Gabby, who was yours?
Jaime, the other Lannister brother. Yeah, I mean, I think I kind of said already, but yeah, he's just, he's frustrating me because again, I think after we saw like his character grow up season 2, kind of like held on to that throughout all these seasons. So I'm hoping that it somehow pays off with him like
Doing
just
anything
kind
important.
yeah, exactly. Just instead of just blindly following Cersei and being so in love with her, like I can't reconcile these two sides of him at all. I just can't, and it's just hard for me. And I know it sounds like I'm taking this so personally. I'm not. I'm just. As a fan of the show and as someone who's kind of was intrigued by his character, I'm just like, what the hell now? Just what the hell? So, Jaime is my Reek of the week.
Nice. You, Allie?
So can I go like a little off book? And I want to choose the showrunners.
Oh, come on. Character.
God damn it! I wanted to talk about my whole no Confederate thing, but like, let's just insert it there. For Week of the Week, probably.
Yeah, that is a good topic.
I know, but they're my Reek of the Week because they suck, and that's a stupid idea. And I didn't get to talk to you guys about it last week. I forget when the news was announced. We don't have to delve right into it.
Who's your real Reek of the Week?
They really were. I planned it like before the episode started, but I'll go Jaime also because I just think he's useless right now, and I do think he has some interesting traits to him, and there's something compelling about his character to the point that people, thought he was a favorite for the first couple seasons. So it just seems like his character is being completely squandered for the sake of Cersei's, and while like there's kind of this nice subversion of power dynamics between him and her, it shouldn't come at it shouldn't sacrifice his character for her, even though we're showing like her in a more dominant position. So yeah, I just think that they've taken anything and everything that was interesting about him in the first couple seasons and have like totally thinned it out, and it kind of comes to a crux this week. So hopefully after kind of meeting all these losses next week, maybe he'll be like a reinvigorated character who's super interesting. But yeah, right now he's my Reek hardcore beyond the dumbass showrunners.
I felt like he was pretty cool and interesting, complex character, but I feel like these last 2 seasons, including this one, he's been basically like Cersei's little biatch. So
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and again, there's probably a way to show that interestingly, but they just haven't.
And it's just so boring. You're just like, I roll my eyes every time. Just like
I think he suffered the most in terms of the showrunners not knowing what to do with him past the source material. And like the source material got pretty thin too after book 2. So I just think they are like, well, he's just in love with Cersei, and that's all we really know how to write for him. But
yeah,
who knows?
Alrighty, next up we have our Lord/Lady Commander of this episode. And this is basically our pick for the MVP of this episode, the ones that we feel own this episode. So do you guys have any in mind?
Mine is Lady Olenna for her big farewell at the end, admitting to killing Joffrey, which before, according to Melissa in season 5, but I didn't pay attention, so I thought it was tonight. But she did end it in just such a, really kind of like on her terms in a very eloquent kind of regal way. It was very much, she didn't lose who she was at the end. And she also found a way to stick it to Cersei as well, which I really admire. So she's my Lady Commander of the Week.
Nice. Allie?
So I feel like I'm just kind of echoing myself. My Lord Commander is Jon Snow. For a lot of reasons. I think he owned the episode. I think Kit Harington is the only actor of the series that has improved. I think everybody else has kind of digressed in the since season 1, and I don't know if it's because they got tired of, except for maybe Sophie Turner. as Sansa, but I think Jon Snow's become like a legitimately interesting character. And I think this week, him both owning up to the misgivings of his father and brother, acknowledging that he's kind of following in their footsteps, but trying not to, and also just having some of the best like chemistry with Peter Dinklage and Emilia Clarke. Like, I just think seeing him in this new kind of setting and him kind of standing firm, but also being like, no, people have screwed up, but here's how we move forward because there's this ridiculous apocalyptic horde of undead coming towards us. Like, I don't know. I think there's so many interesting complexities to him, despite the fact that he's kind of packaged in this really bland character. But yeah, no, so any scene that he was in, beyond the fact that I just find him really attractive, I was really compelled by. But I don't know, I just think he's the character who's shown the most character growth over 7 seasons. But in really understated ways.
Yeah, they must be really understated, because I don't really think he's grown up.
I know, it's where we butt heads the most.
I love Jon Snow, so I agree with like pretty much all you said.
Thank you, Gabby.
He's so dreamy, and I like how Tyrion pointed out his broodiness.
I like him enough.
I mean, I acknowledge that he's like really bland for most people. Yeah. I think if you look deeply, he's not at all. It just takes some time and effort to see it. But I'm willing to put that time and effort in. So, yeah. But yeah, no, like genuinely, I do actually think he's my Lord Commander of the Week. I just think any scene he was in, I was like drawn to. So maybe that doesn't really prove my point.
I think it does enough. Yeah.
But now, Melissa, I'm really curious. Is yours Dany?
I was thinking about her, but then I was deciding against it because she didn't make. She wasn't open-minded enough for me. But that's understandable because, like, you know, she doesn't know who Jon Snow is. Like, why should she believe this guy? I can't think of one.
I'm so surprised it's not Dany because, like, we usually have this counteractive like picks when it comes
like
to
Sansa. Sansa's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sansa is a good one.
Yeah,
that is a good one. I was thinking about her too. It's just like it was really short, but I guess I'll pick her because she's like a natural born leader. You could tell that this is what she's been wanting in the back of her mind, and she's doing a good job so far. She's finally, you know, she's more than just Lady of the Winterfell. She's Queen of the North, and she's doing a good job so far. I'm just annoyed at Littlefinger whispering nonsense garbage. I don't even know what he's talking about in her ear. I really wish she would just get him killed. Like, just send him to death. But
right,
she's doing a good job. Besides not killing Littlefinger, she's doing a good job. So I'll pick Sansa as my lady commander in this episode. And then next up, we have our Swing the Sword. And this is basically coming from the great quote from the late Ned Stark, where the man who passes the sentence to swing the sword. It's basically taking our metaphorical swords and swinging it at someone. We want to see this character just die already because they just suck, or we're annoyed with them, or whatever it is. And Gabby, how to swing the sword?
Are ours the same?
I don't know. I'm thinking about mine. Cersei or Euron? Maybe Cersei. No, you know how the same one is. I'm curious now what yours is.
Littlefinger.
Well, I figured Melissa was gonna say that because she literally just wished she would die. So I was just like, I don't think it's so different.
Well, one of us had the same.
I'm gonna go with Cersei just because she's winning the war and I don't want her to win. I want her to die.
That's a valid reason, okay? We don't have to pick a team.
I know. So I'm just like, I'm done with her. Like, okay, great. She's had these 2 victories. We're done now. Let's stop. Let's stop. Yeah, no. She's just a cruel woman. I mean, she's smart. She's smart. which is cruel. And when she did to the little sand snake and Ilaria, it was awful. And yeah, and it also just creeps me out just how. I mean, I don't know, creeps me out is the right thing. She loves her children. Like Cersei loves her children so much, but she's just like this horrendous person at the same time. So yeah.
Well, all her children are dead, so
yeah, I know
it's consumed her.
Yeah, really. So yeah, but I would swing my sword, which is named Fireheart. I think I keep forgetting. At Cersei.
Yes. And you, Allie?
Littlefinger. Hardcore.
Yes.
I just hate him. I hate everything about that character. I think he's so stupid. I think the actor's bad. I think the character's bad, and I think he could cause the most like internal damage to Sansa and her alliances, which is just nonsense to me because he's caused so much grief for her. But like every time he's on screen, I'm just like, go away. I am so ready for you to just like kind of meet your end and have your time. I just think he's added nothing beneficial in seasons. So I'm ready for him to go.
I have a theory about him that I'll get to the next segment too.
Okay.
Just had to tell you guys in case I forgot about it. You'd be like, you have a Littlefinger theory, Gabby. Remember?
You'll remember.
I'm just gonna pick Cersei because she's winning the war, and I don't want her to.
Yeah, I mean it's like the logical choice.
You guys are strategical, and I'm just like, nah, screw this guy. He's the worst.
But I also would like to swing the sword on Littlefinger because I can't. I don't know why she's keeping him alive. Like I get he saved you, but she knows that you can't trust him. Like just kill him. Kill him.
Maybe it's a keep your enemies close thing. You know? Like she can't lose an asset yet. But once she can, he'll be the first to go. So that's exciting.
I can't.
But yeah, no, I don't understand it either.
I don't understand it. I can't. Like she's a smart girl. Like she knows he manipulates. He conspires. Like it's dangerous to keep somebody like that alive around you, so close to you. So yeah, it's bothering me. So next up we have our green site segment. This is where we kind of predict what can happen down the line for the rest of the season or for a certain storyline for a character. We always kind of talk about this anyway during our discussion, but we want to maybe circle back to some of our ideas from earlier. And Gabby, you had a green site in mind, so let us know what it was.
Yeah, okay, so I think the Littlefinger, it's not so much a theory as into the plot of the show, but more like about how they write the show. And I think he is just to make us nervous about the North, because otherwise we wouldn't be so worried about it. And I don't think ultimately he's going to do anything. I think Sansa is smarter than that, and she's just going to overpower him, and he's just there just to make us nervous in the meantime. That's all. That's all. I mean, that's why I think like I'm not so concerned by him, because I'm becoming less and less concerned by him, because I feel like if the writers know better, they know to make Sansa smarter than that, to fall for that shit.
That's assuming the writers know better.
Yeah, I'm gonna have, well, besides the Confederate shit, which I'm not, besides that, I do think, at least I hope. And I make me doubt myself, Allie. Like, should I even hope? Okay.
No, I mean they've done a really good job the last 2 seasons, and by like exploring characters in ways that I really didn't imagine that they would. I'm just being a brat.
Okay, well, I just hope that they make her, they don't do that to her again. They don't kind of downplay her growth. And yeah, I just think, you know, I hope Littlefinger, I always have a thing that he's going to be there till the end, but now I'm thinking that he's not going to last the rest of the season, which, fingers crossed, guys, I'm right about.
Yes. My green site, I think I already talked about this, that I hope I'm wrong, but Arya will not go back home. She's too like torn by revenge and will not go back home because she's a lone wolf now. I'm thinking she won't go back home. And I'm so sad that I did not get my Arya and Sansa reunion tonight, which I thought I would. We only got this boring Bran.
Wait, so let me get this straight. Jon was able to travel from the north to Dragonstone, but Arya is not at Winterfell yet.
Well, but he took a boat, and that's faster.
Is it?
We're also not so. Okay,
Yes,
but everybody's also time traveling right now, and we're just supposed to overlook it because it's moving the story forward and making things more exciting. But yeah, no, it's nonsense. Like, it's stupid if you really sit down and think about it. But we're so excited that Tyrion and Dany and Jon are in the same scene together. They're like, nah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like, everybody shush.
But I think when we saw Sansa running to the gate, we all were kind of expecting Arya, and then it was just like, oh, it's just Bran.
So much.
I was like already like screaming, and then I realized, oh, it's Bran.
I know.
Bran,
I was so
Bran
excited
isn't
it was
even
a
Bran
Stark.
anymore.
I know, but this was one of the moments where I was like, oh my god, like slapping my chair, and then it wasn't, and I was like, I mean, it's still cool, but it's not Arya.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they're, I don't know what they're doing with that.
Oh, another prediction: we will have all 4 Starks. Wait a minute, never mind. I just said Arya won't go there. I'm just thinking for dramatic effect. But maybe she will, and then we'll get our full Stark reunion with all 4 of them. That would be amazing as well. So yeah, smart predictions. How about you, Allie? Do you have any predictions?
Okay, so I think Varys is going to die by the end of the season. If we weren't sure with him being like, when he made his pledge to Dany about like, I will burn the stake, or like, you will burn alive if you betray me. Melisandre being like, you're going to die in this strange country too. He's going to die. He's going to die.
Yeah.
Probably this season is my guess. I think they're going to allow Theon to play the hero and save the sister in some capacity. Yeah, I mean, like, it makes sense, his trauma and everything, but it's becoming... It's not becoming too much of a thing, but we just don't really have the time to explore it, and I don't think the showrunners are going to explore it very well. So I do think they just want to give him a kind of hero moment before something big happens, and I assume that hero moment will be in regards to, like, helping his sister out and redeeming himself. And then my only other thing is I think next episode is going to be a huge thing for Dany and Jon. And I think it's going to kind of like pivot. I don't know in what way, but I think we're going to kind of pivot the course of what we were expecting between the two of them. Especially that like maybe she'll need his counsel to help with like battle plans or something. But I'm really excited for next episode in terms of what happens between their relationships. So all of my like green site stuff is kind of vague, but I just have this feeling that we're going to like get more satisfying hero moments and people reconnecting and more Starks being together, and like I don't know, I'm being kind of stupidly optimistic.
Well,
But I stand by what I said a couple weeks ago, is that Game of Thrones, for all of its nonsense about being like, oh, we surprise people with death and like nobody sees it coming and we're not like normal fantasy shows, I think at its heart it is very much a standard fantasy show, and I think they want the payoff of like the big character hero moments. So, and with only 10 episodes left, they need to start kind of fulfilling us with those. So I think we're going to start getting them more. So, but that's just my prediction. And in 2 episodes, when everybody's dead, I'll look dumb. So like,
you like my optimism.
I know Jon will be dead next episode, and I'll be like, "Fuck!" But like, so yeah.
I was thinking Jorah's gonna be back next episode in Dragonstone. He's gonna be like to Jon, "Oh yeah, I met your buddy Sam," and help facilitate that relationship. I don't know.
Oh, man. Yeah. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, because he's a Mormont, so I don't know how that plays in for him. I mean, ultimately, I just think that he's more going to be like a little bit of a romantic kind of thing with Daenerys, which I'm really looking forward to because, like, like
You don't think Jon and Dany are gonna be romantic?
No. Do you?
Really?
I don't get that vibe.
I do.
I don't get
They're
that vibe
fire
either.
and ice. Like, like I think it's literally like them coming together in some way. I'd argue romantically. But yeah, that's my theory. Or guess. Let's not say it's theory. I'm gonna guess that they end up together.
Really?
In some way. Mm-hmm.
I
don't think it's right.
Well, no, I'm not questioning that. I just think, like, even if they weren't related, I don't get that vibe. I get more of like a respect, partnership kind of vibe, but not necessarily like a romantic.
Well, mine's still going back to the idea that this show and the books really are traditionally fantastical in their own way, and what better like coupling than the guy who's representing the ice in the title and the woman who's representing the fire and merging them together. Like, so that's kind of where my prediction is coming from. It's literally like a story of fire and ice. So yeah, that's where my theory comes from. It's literally just the title, so I'm not like reaching deep. But
I know.
I do.
But my interpretation of fire and ice is like you need both fire and ice to save humanity. That was my interpretation of the Song of Fire and Ice.
That's much more interesting than mine. But
because both of them in order to conquer this common enemy.
I always thought the title meant like, you know, like the Song of Ice and Fire meant like, you know, these two are destined to meet so that they could save the world together. Like that's what I thought.
No, I think that too. But I also think they're gonna have sex.
They made that happen because they want more incest in the show. These are two young hot people. Why wouldn't they have sex?
And they don't know they're related yet.
Exactly.
Not yet. That'll be a bombshell.
Bran is gonna lay that down on Jon.
Yeah.
I know. That little sociopath right now. God.
Yeah,
that's my evergreen sight.
I could see that happening.
I'm saying I wouldn't be surprised. Let's put it that way. I won't be as definitive about it, but I would not be surprised.
Yeah. I'll be a little surprised. I will a little.
That's good.
It never crossed my mind, honestly. It never did.
Yeah.
But I understand your point, and it makes sense.
Tumblr or Twitter, like I feel like there's always fan art with both of them. People want them to be together.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, they're both attractive.
They are.
Go on Tumblr. They're both young.
I can't go on Tumblr.
Don't go on Tumblr for that.
I'm just saying the fan art exists. Okay, go to Google. You'll see the fan art.
Okay, I'll go look it up and be kind of a little perturbed.
George R. Martin hasn't had it like torn down yet. He hates that stuff. But
yeah. I mean,
I don't know.
Like
I think
it's been a thing for them that they want to happen.
Yeah, I'm not the one.
I don't even necessarily want to. I'm not one of those fans, but I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Damn. This is like okay. I understand your point, and I understand why you wouldn't be surprised it happened, but I'd still be surprised. I don't know. I just like
really? You'd be surprised? Come on. Why?
Well, because it's almost too traditional for them. You know, like the show is supposed to kind of like go against the grain, and this is kind of really like in the vein of what most fantasy novels do.
I feel like
bring these polar opposites.
Time for this, though. Like some.
Well, there definitely isn't. Which, by the way, was one of my favorite parts of the episode. Was literally Jon being like, "We don't have time for this shit. Like the world is ending."
I said that. Yes. I said
that's what it means.
Because he's like,
I don't know.
Like he knows the bigger threat, so he's like, Game of Thrones is useless because ice zombies are coming.
Yeah.
Just another reason why he was the Lord Commander of the Week. Thank you, Melissa, for pointing it out.
Hey, I talked very well about him this episode, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she said all good things.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
wow.
I missed it because I was still watching the show. So I was an hour behind.
You know, it's hard
Well,
not to be sympathetic for his cause. I mean, it's a conundrum for him. Poor Jon
yeah,
Snow.
he's in a tough spot, but so is she. I feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how they move forward from here, but I mean, obviously
Romantically.
they need each other.
No. If something happens between them, I'll be like a whole Queen's Landing episode of me just like this. No.
Of them sexing it up.
Maybe
Just
it'll be done
like-
really tastefully.
This is
We're gonna
Game of Thrones.
see her boobs. We're not gonna see his penis. So there's that.
Thanks for laying
I
like.
demand penis though, even though it's not gonna happen.
But not like
I don't think Kit
Harrington.
Harington is up to
We
that.
don't need Hodors again or anything like that. I mean, we obviously can't because he's dead. But like, it was like his and Theon.
Yeah.
We always see the girls, never the
Yeah.
boys.
True.
Sexism in Hollywood. Just another reason why the showrunners are my Reek of the Week. Reeks.
Alrighty, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here in Queen's Landing. We had so much fun talking about this episode. Please join us next week as we watch episode 4. The title has not been released yet, I don't think. Follow us on TYF Official. Follow Queen's Landing on Twitter. Follow Gabby on Twitter, me and Allie on Twitter. And tweet at us or leave a comment letting us know what you thought of the episode. What grade do you give it? You give it A, B, or F? Did you like it? What else did we miss? I feel like we talked about everything, though. And catch you next week. Bye.